Okay, hello. Today we will be making a monster can flower was the original idea, but this time we're going to be using a different aluminum can. I do advise staying very safe, and if you're under like 18, just make sure that you have a parent's permission because you can easily get hurt. The aluminum can easily cut you, so stay safe. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to cut off the top and the bottom. Now if you want the full tutorial, it's on my channel. It's just a short. Okay, so take something, I don't know, maybe an X-Acto knife or something like that, and just take out the top and the bottom of the can because you do not need those parts. This first part does take a while, but the rest will be really easy. And after you cut off the top and the bottom of the can, all you need is scissors, and you're just going to cut down the middle and then start cutting out the petals that you will use to make a flower. Another thing you can use for the stem, if you would like, is you can use wire or just pipe cleaners for the stem. This first part will take a while. Hello everyone that is viewing. Today we're making a flower out of an aluminum can. Alright, and here's the top, so we won't be needing that. And the bottom should be a lot easier. Okay, now we have the bottom and the top cut off, so all we have is the hollow aluminum can. From here on, we won't need any other things like X-Acto knives. We'll just need scissors, hot glue gun, or any other glue that you have, and maybe a Sharpie to help you draw the petals first. And of course, some wire if you would like to make a stem. So I will be go and grabbing some scissors. Alright, now that we have our scissors, we're just going to cut down the very middle of the can. If you try to make a flower out of maybe like a small soda can, like a Coca-Cola can, you won't really be able to make the flower because the petals might be too small, but you can still try. So now we've cut down the middle. We have a sheet of aluminum, and we can put aside the top and the bottom. So now here on this side, we're just going to draw out some petals to cut out, which we will then be gluing. And if you do want to skip the live, you can see when I post it, but there is a tutorial on my channel. So now that we have the base, I'm just going to draw out some petals, maybe about 5. Hello, Charles. Thank you. Hello, Chandris, for commenting. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. This monster can flower that I'm drawing, I did sell it. So as well as the other one that I did, which was out of a monster can, I also sold it. So they're not very hard to make. But I do advise that you be very careful because, like I said, aluminum and it can cut you. Normally on live streams, I also will be making pins and other art. Okay, now that we have a couple petals, make sure that they're not too small, because later we are going to be folding the tip of the petal so that we can glue it down to the base that we'll be using for our flower. So once you have a good amount of petals, you're just going to cut them out. Hello, Mr. iBlock. Thank you for joining. Okay, and here is our first petal. Here is how it looks cut out. And we're going to bend the bottom, so this way we'll be able to glue it down, which is what you will use your hot glue gun for. One tip that I would like to add is you can cover the petals in tape if you would like, so it's less chances of it being dangerous. The process of cutting out the flower petals is the longest process. Everything else is pretty easy, pretty quick. So like on a regular flower that you'd usually draw, just 5 petals is fine. If the petals are a bit longer, maybe add more. But if the petals are more wider, then less petals will be fine. If you'd like to keep all the petals the same size, you can cut out around them too. That works when tracing with drawing. So of course, you can also implement that here. Also, let me know what types of art and crafts you guys would like me to post next. During winter break, I posted about every Saturday, so when summer break comes, I will try to go back to doing that again. So right now, I would like to hear your ideas for what I should do live streams on. Here we have our main leaf petals, flower petals, and then we have some smaller ones too that you can add to fill in the background, which is optional. I also would recommend washing the can beforehand if you can, or just like emptying out the drink, of course, so then it won't be as sticky. And if you do not have a base for the flower, you can use whatever leftover tin you have. My voice is a little off this live stream because I am kind of sick with allergies because it's summer, spring, all that. Okay, here is our 5 flower petals, and you can also bend them just a little bit so that they're more curved. Now that we have all that out of the way, I'm going to cut out a base for the flowers. And another thing you can do for the base is you can use the soda tab for a base. You can use this little piece for a base too. I like using that because it's one of the stronger parts of the tin. And you can also add something in the middle to decorate it once you're done, which would look really cool. Okay, now for the hot glue gun or any other glue that you might have, I will go plug this in. In the meantime, we can make more small flower petals to fill in the background just in case. Okay, there is all our petals, 5 main petals and 5 smaller petals to fill in the spaces. Okay, I'm going to be moving the camera now to the station where we will do the hot glue. Okay, so here we have everything that we have cut out, and we're going to begin with gluing the larger petals to this space. So take the tip of the flower that we have bent and just glue it down. Be careful when bending the tip of the flower because it can break very easily if you bend it too many times or if you bend it too much. And now our last large petal. Okay, and here we have all our petals. We're going to wait for it to dry, and then we can start to adjust the petals. Okay, and here we have all the petals. There are some gaps here, here, and here, so I'll fill that in with the smaller petals that we can glue to the bottom of the base. Okay, I messed up on this part. So I'm going to put this one here because the gap is smaller, and then this one here because the gap is larger. And we might as well add the rest of the leaves as well. Alright, so here is our flower. It looks really nice. And I'm going to find some pipe cleaners to attach to the bottom. And if you don't have any pipe cleaners, here's another thing you can do. You can take the base of the can and just glue the flower in so that it looks like a little flower pot. And that's cute too. Okay, once you find some wire or pipe cleaners, you're going to grab a few and twist them together to make the stem. Right now I'm just straightening out the pipe cleaners. And now twist them together. And once you've finished, if you're using pipe cleaners, you can leave this part untwisted so that it kind of makes like the leaves of the flower that would go under our petal. And you could just glue them and adjust these how you like. Going to grab my scissors because these are slightly uneven. Okay, now we have sort of this claw, and then we can glue it to our flower. So here is how your flower would look once you're finished, and you can adjust the petals, you can adjust the stem, and you can add something to the middle as well. Maybe a gemstone or soda tab, even some spikes. That would be cool as well. So I'm just going to make a few adjustments and pose the petals of the flower. Okay, and here we go. In total, this took me about 30 minutes to make, so it's not too hard. Okay, and here is our flower. If the stem is too long, again, you can just cut the stem. And yes, I did get hot glue on my fingers a couple times while doing this, so please be careful. Metal and hot glue do not mix at all. Okay, thank you everyone for watching and commenting and liking the live stream. This is the flower. If you would like a tutorial, if you missed parts of the live stream, you can rewatch it, rewind it, or you can go to my channel where I have posted a short explaining how to make it. Okay, thank you everyone, and goodbye.